From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
It's the Crown Motors 4th of July sales event happening now. We've partnered with Members First Credit Union to bring you special financing on any new or qualifying used vehicle. Get 5.99% APR for up to 78 months or 6.24% for 84 months. Both with 120% plus financing. Make no payments for 90 days. Hurry in. This 4th of July offer won't last. Visit us on Cypress Avenue or at crownmotorsreading.com.
Good evening, everyone. If you're heading out to Anderson Explodes, you're going to get a nice fireworks display for sure. And, you know, there are going to be a couple of maybe some high clouds out there this evening into tonight, but shouldn't be enough to really impede the view of the fireworks display. If anything, the clouds will be a backdrop to that of the fireworks here. But temperatures by 9 p.m. about the low 80s, and I expect by the time the fireworks do start at about 10 o'clock tonight at the Anderson Fairgrounds, at the Anderson District Fairgrounds, that is here. 77 degrees by 10 o'clock here. The gates open at 5 p.m. Just be sure you got enough to stay hydrated because, yes, it is cooler out there, but it's still going to be on the warm side as that sun is kind of beating down on you. Isolated mountain thunderstorms will continue through Friday, mainly though for Siskiyou and Modoc counties. We'll get into that a little bit later. Cooling trend has started today, but even more so by the time we get into your 4th of July. More on just how much cooler it will be here in just a second. Bigger heat for next week. It'll be hot and dry through next week as well. All right, so here's a look at your Krueger's Quickcast for your Thursday night, July 3rd. Tonight, we're dropping down the cooler air already moving into place. We're talking low to mid 60s for the valley, 40s and 50s for the higher elevations, and temperatures overnight for the coast will be in the low 50s. Still some fog tomorrow morning for many of you along the coast here, but some of that should burn off. We'll see some breaks in the clouds later in the afternoon. And we're already noticing those cooler temperatures here tomorrow morning. So we've got these clouds that are coming in advance of this area of low pressure. It's really not bringing us a whole lot of cloud cover, but tomorrow we've still got the potential for some isolated thunderstorms. Now, I think most of it will be in Siskiyou and Modoc County, most likely not seeing anything here south of those areas. Let's take a look at futurecasts here through tomorrow, and we'll kind of see where all of that is. First of all, late tonight, early tomorrow morning, we may see a few stray showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or two develop here for central and eastern Siskiyou County here, late tonight, early tomorrow morning. But by the time you're waking up tomorrow morning, I think most of you would be dealing with those drier conditions. A few clouds to start off the day here. Maybe you're heading out to the 4th of July fun run in Mount Shasta. Just a few clouds out there. There could be an afternoon shower or thunderstorm here for central and eastern Siskiyou County, also making its way into Modoc County. But as mentioned here, you saw that the Storm Prediction Center had put that chance in there south of that. Don't think that's going to happen. I think most of it will stay to the north of that. So we still have that red flag warning through midnight tonight for eastern Lassen County. Essentially, the winds are going to be pretty strong here through tonight. But by the time we do go into tomorrow morning, the winds will certainly be a bit weaker here. But tomorrow afternoon, I think they're picking back up again. Would not be surprised, although it's not guaranteed, but I would not be surprised if there'd be another red flag warning here for the same areas here for tomorrow, because gusty winds there. However, not as bad for the valley as we go into tomorrow afternoon. Speaking of tomorrow, your 4th of July, absolutely gorgeous. Can you believe this? Temperatures in the upper 80s for your daytime highs in the valley, mainly 70s for the higher elevations, and basically low 60s for the coast. Now, the best chances for thunderstorms will be here, but we could see some activity tomorrow afternoon in central and eastern Siskiyou County as well. So looking at your 7-day forecast, yes, it is going to be beautiful for your 4th of July, but temperatures warming back up again. We knew those cooler temperatures wouldn't last for long here in July, right? But we'll take these cool days when we can. You know, we take a look at the coast, still low to mid 60s, partly to mostly cloudy skies there. 70s for the inland areas for your Friday, but back up in the 80s and 90s by the weekend and warming up for Weaverville as well. For Siskiyou, Modoc County, and the eastern mountains, you've also got that thunderstorm activity. Best chance will be Modoc County, but a chance also in Siskiyou County as well. But I do expect Lassen, Plumas counties, and the mountains of Shasta and even Tehama County will be dry as well. warming up for next week. All right, that's your Krueger's Quick Cast. Before we get into the deeper dive, I do want to remind you of the 24-hour streaming channel. There have been reports that the Fire Stick, that the app there hasn't been working for Weather NorCal. However, anywhere you have YouTube, YouTube is going to be your best bet. If you have a smart TV with YouTube on it, if you've got a Fire Stick or even Roku with YouTube on it, you can use the YouTube app to watch the 24-hour streaming channel, the Weather NorCal YouTube channel. Search for it there. While you're at it, give it a subscribe. You can also watch the latest video forecast on demand from the YouTube app as well. So anywhere YouTube is available, on your TV, your computer, your phone, you can watch the 24-hour streaming channel and the latest video forecast. Here's your fire weather forecast, sponsored by Garmin's Tractor Service. Once again, we still have that red flag warning in effect here through midnight tonight. The winds are going to continue to be fairly strong here through the evening, but by tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, we see those winds begin to pick back up again. Maybe not as strong, probably not as strong here for the valley either. In fact, we're seeing a bit of a downward trend with the winds altogether, because by Saturday, the winds most likely in the 10 to 15 mile an hour range, as opposed to the 20 to 30, 35 mile an hour range. And the fire weather risk as a result will be fairly low as well, at least low by our standards. You can see here mainly in the yellows indicating a moderate fire weather risk. The numbers indicating 15 to even upwards of 25% relative humidity, which is higher than we're used to around here, making it feel a little bit more muggy than we're used to. Now, things are drying out significantly by Saturday. As you can see, we're back down into the single digits, 5% relative humidity for Red Bluff, 7% in Redding. But still, because we're not seeing the temperatures warm up a whole lot, it'll still be in the 90s, but the winds won't be that strong either. So as a result, we do have that moderate fire weather risk. But when it's this dry, we still need to be extra careful. So once again, these clouds moving through this evening and tonight, not going to have a huge impact on us as far as any rain is concerned. But for tomorrow, as I mentioned, mainly Siskiyou and Modoc County will have the best chance for those thunderstorms tomorrow. Once again, as I mentioned, late tonight and especially early tomorrow morning, places in central Siskiyou, even eastern Siskiyou County, could see a chance for some showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. So places like Doris, Newell, Tule Lake, if you see a stray thunderstorm this evening, or late tonight, early tomorrow morning, don't be surprised. Maybe even around Wairika, Mount Shasta, Dunsmuir. But to the west of that, most likely not, and everywhere else, most likely dry as well. By tomorrow morning, as mentioned, it should be dry across the board. More chances for thunderstorms popping up Friday afternoon for central, eastern Siskiyou County, and Modoc County. And that'll continue as we get into the evening hours as well, drying out by tomorrow night. And Saturday looks like it'll be dry as well, with mainly sunny skies. So it looks like we're finally breaking away from that thunderstorm pattern here as we go into the weekend. Warmer than normal conditions are expected in the long range, but first we've got some cooler air that was in place today, even more so for your 4th of July, making for a gorgeous day. Those upper 80s I was talking about for the valley. Now, a piece of energy is going to break off from this cooler air here for the weekend. It's going to moderate significantly, so it won't be cool by the time it works over us, but it will develop into an area of low pressure right here. What that's going to do is keep this heat from really building in as strong as it would like. But eventually, once that moves out, we're going to see this heat expand from the Four Corners region into Northern California, and that's when we really start to see those temperatures increase by the end of next week. But overall, you can see here, for beginning of next week and really through the weekend, we're hovering around 100 degrees, especially by Sunday into Wednesday. Then we see a spike by the end of next week. Temperatures start to slowly drop, but still over 105 to 106 degrees by that next weekend. Your wave heights have certainly dropped here for today. They'll drop even more so for your Friday. There you can see around 6 p.m., fairly low wave heights, and that continues into your Saturday, although it looks like they may start to increase by Saturday afternoon. But overall, no small craft advisories, and looks like it's going to be pretty good if you're going to be on that small boat over the weekend, especially for Friday and Saturday. But there you can see your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures mainly in the 70s and 80s. One of the cooler spots will be Mad River at about 69 degrees. Taking you out to your north coast neighborhood forecast, 76 for Alder Point, 78 degrees for Garberville, and 63 degrees in Fortuna. Up north, 65 degrees for Smith River, 71 degrees for Gas Key, and Orleans about 76. No rain, no showers, no thunderstorms, just warmer weather going into next week. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, 70s and 80s there. Still a chance for some afternoon thunderstorms here. I would say mainly I-5 eastward. You will see the better chances for those showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. The morning should be okay, especially if you're heading out to the 4th of July fun run out in Mount Shasta City. 73 degrees for Aden for your Friday. In Modoc County, your 4th of July looking gorgeous, although by the afternoon, you could see some more thunderstorms out in Modoc County for your 4th of July in the afternoon. But by the time the fireworks display starts, most likely it will all be over with. Taking a look at your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, 70s and 80s for your daytime highs. Absolutely gorgeous. Temperatures not getting too hot, including the valley. And this is not a typo. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s for the south end of the valley. Looking at Chico, you're topping out at 87 for your 4th of July. Back in the 90s over the weekend and getting in the mid to upper 90s through a good portion of next week as well. We take you up to the north, 88 for Redding as well as the city of Shasta Lake. Look at Lakehead, 81, 83 in Whiskeytown, and 87 for a high in Red Bluff. And looking at your 7-day forecast for Redding, oh man, it is just gorgeous, right, for your Friday, but not so gorgeous over the weekend, mid to upper 90s and hovering around 100 degrees for Sunday through Wednesday, getting even hotter by the end of next week. That is your evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. No coffee with Krueger tomorrow morning, but I'll still have your update at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Until then, have a great night.
Barr & Mudford is a top, established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.